In all of our sharing and talking as a community in recent days, it's been wonderful. It's been great to share, it's been great to talk, but there's also been something else about it, which is a level of integrity, a level of truth in how we're sharing together. In the midst of that, of course, comes out all those things that we're struggling with, like I am, trying to make sense of what's going on. There were several people who were describing it the other day as like a roller coaster ride, and I identify totally with that. How do I make sense of my faith in such difficult times? As I think about that, I realise that great men and women throughout the ages have sought for such wisdom. And they've looked and hoped to find wisdom. And then many of them, of course, many Christians, have turned to this and have sought to find wisdom here. And of course, it won't surprise any of you that one of the main things this does is that it points to the Son of God, to Jesus, for that wisdom. So what did Jesus say to us that can help us to make sense of all that's going on? Well, Jesus had a plan. He had a plan to help us through such difficult times, a plan that can be found in John's Gospel. This is Jesus' words in John 14, starting at 25. I have said these things to you whilst I am still with you, but the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all I have said to you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Jesus provides his Holy Spirit as a way for us to find out how to deal with things. Yes, he sends the Holy Spirit to dwell inside each one of us, and it's that Holy Spirit that then goes on, as Jesus says, to teach us, to remind us of everything he said, and to bring meaning to our problems and difficulties. Paul, as well, in his letter to his friends in Rome, said this: likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we don't know how to pray as we ought, but the Spirit intercedes with our spirit, with sighs too deep for words. And God, who searches the heart, knows what is in the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for the saints according to the will of God. So God is at work using his Holy Spirit within us to change us and to bring us help and understanding and meaning through all this difficulty. That same Spirit has been present through all time. If we go back to the very, very beginning, to Genesis, we see the Holy Spirit right there at the beginning as well. We see the Holy Spirit brooding over the face of the earth, brooding over the darkness, brooding over the waters, hovering, it says in some versions. And that same Spirit still hovers today across our world. The Spirit still breathes across our planet and into the hearts of men and women. But what did that Spirit do in that time? Well, look back in Genesis 1 and we see the words the Holy Spirit uses to speak. And he says, let there be light. And there was light. And then it talks through the days of creation about let there be a sun in the heavens and a moon. Let there be life on the earth and in the seas. Let there be. And of course then he creates man. Let there be life. He breathes life. And for all of us looking for understanding, and meaning. We can take wisdom from this, because God is calling us as a people to that same creative, prophetic spirit that we see at work in creation. In our darkness, in our dark times, we're being called prophetically, creatively to speak, let there be life. Let there be light in the darkness. Let there be life and not death. Let there be healing and not sickness. Let there be a vaccine. Let there be hope. Let there be peace. Let there be righteousness. Let there be justice. We are called as a people to bring that prophetic voice. And in the days ahead, I would encourage you to seek God, to know that word that you can speak for your situation. It doesn't have to be big and huge. It can be just for the very simple things. Aren't we blessed by the wonderful testimonies we've heard that have come from somebody having the boldness and the faith to say, let there be?